Hi, and welcome to the last final day of the 14-day piano challenge where I've been going live every single day, even in the midst of all my travels and adventures and stuff. You can kind of see I've got my stuff like ready to go. We're going to hit the road right away. So thank you for those of you who were able to make it early. It looks like there's a few of you here. Sunia, yeah, I think it's really cool that you've made it to pretty much all the live sessions. So I think that's really awesome. I really appreciate that. So yeah, nice to see some of you guys here early. Well, it's early in the morning where I am. So obviously we're all coming in from different places in the world. All right, so today's last challenge is one that I wanted to save, one that, it's hard to say if this is the most difficult one. I feel like it's probably the most difficult one, but it's also really easy to execute. It's something that that when I do this kind of practice, I get stuck in a loop in a good way. So I end up doing the same thing. I just kind of like, I can sit down and do this for hours. It's really absorbing. And it's a good way to train your ear. So a lot of the last few challenges have been about developing your ear. So yesterday we worked with chords and stuff like that. And this is kind of going to be a variation on it. So there's a couple parts to this challenge. So the first part is exploring an unusual time signature. So I remember when I was probably 18 or 19 and I just joined my first band and we were writing music and the guitarist had an idea in 5/4 time. And I found that really unusual because I'd never played anything in 5/4. It feels so non-intuitive because we're used to hearing music that's in 4/4. 4/4 is like the standard. That's usually what feels right and intuitive in our gut when we listen to it. And we tend to play with kind of like a 4/4 meter in mind most of the time. So 5/4 was really difficult for me to wrap my head around. So what I ended up doing was playing his 5/4 guitar idea in a loop because it was kind of like it kind of was designed as a loop. So it was like a 1 or 2 bar little pattern. So I just played it over and over and over and over, and I tried to jam over top of it. So I spent hours on this. Like I would just start trying to get a feel for where the strong beats and the weak beats are. So for example, in 5/4. Usually, well, there's 2 different ways you could do it, but usually the pattern, so in 4/4 time, the pattern of strong and weak beats would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So beat 1 is strong and beat 2 and 4 are weak, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And week 3 is kind of like somewhere in the middle. It's a little bit of a medium beat. So I tried to feel out what that might be like in 5/4. So 5/4, 1, 2, 3, 5, where 1 is strong and 3 is medium, or you could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where 4 is medium. So 1 is strong and 4 is medium. So yeah, I just kind of played this on loop and then I was jamming and improvising over top of it for hours until it started becoming second nature. And my band ended up going on to write music in unusual time signatures. Our band, The Criminal Kid, wrote a song called Under the Sun, and the meter at the like in the last 2 minutes of that is really bizarre. I can't remember what we called it. It was like 7/4/7/8 or I can't remember what the beat pattern is. But once I kind of cracked the code with 5/4 time, it opened up the ability to internalize and become more intuitive with other unusual time signatures as well. And it really unlocked my understanding of rhythm on a deeper level. So when you're only working with 4/4, sometimes 3/4, maybe occasionally 6/8, you do develop a feel for rhythm, but it's only when you start really exploring different time signatures. So I want to actually, here's a song for an example, just to, because this is a fairly popular song and it's written in 5/4. It's called When Your Mind's Made Up by Glenn Hansard and Marketa Irglova, I think. It's from a movie soundtrack. So there's a movie called Once, and it's basically just about musicians. It's kind of a cool movie. I like the music from it, so you could check that out. But that song in particular is written in 5/4. It's really beautiful. It has piano in it too, so highly recommend you check that out. That could actually be a great way to explore the 5/4 time signature. So the first part of this challenge is to explore 5/4 or another unusual time signature. But the other part of this is how to specifically do that, so that the actual specific instructions for you. So what I want you to do is find, probably the best approach is to find a rhythm track online. So if you go to YouTube and type in like 5/4 loop rhythm drum track, something like that, you'll get a bunch of results. So find a drum track that you like and listen for where the strong and weak beats are, and then create a one measure pattern on the piano. So something really simple. It's only going to be one measure, so it's only going to be 5 beats long. Something that you can play over and over again. So I want you to record yourself playing a loop that you create. It could be so simple, and I would encourage you to keep it chord based, just because we're going to be improvising on top of that. So if you keep it chord focused, then it's not going to be too busy and complicated to improvise over top of. And you could even just leave the whole thing on one chord. So you could do like an A minor thing, maybe like on the strong beats, you press A minor, and then maybe you just hit some notes of A minor in the right hand, like C, A, E, A, C, C, A. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So record yourself playing this pattern on a loop for like 1 or 2 minutes, and then hit play on your recording and improvise on top of it, and see if you can create a little melody pattern to go over top of it. And you can restart your loop as many times as you want. These are meant to be 5 to 10 minute exercises for the 14-day challenge. So, you don't need to spend forever on it, but certainly if you're having a good time and you're getting really absorbed in your loop, I encourage you to get in the flow and follow that stream of inspiration. And as always, I want you to record yourself. Maybe you feel like you have a little grasp on something that you're playing over top of your loop, and hit the record button and share it with us over on Facebook, and then other people can hear what you're doing. Now, if the unusual time signature thing is way too much of a stretch for you, you're newer to the game, just record yourself doing a loop in a simple time signature. So for some of you, that might mean 4/4. Like if you've only been playing for like 6 months or something, maybe that's the way to go. And that's still going to be like a productive experience, because you're going to get a better sense of 4/4 rhythm. And so you can just create a little loop in 4/4. You could do like C, A, E, A, C, A, E, and just kind of like jam like that. You can keep it simple and then improvise on top of it. Or if you're pretty comfortable with 4/4, but like 5/4 is just a little too wild for you, you could try 6/8. So 6/8 is another one that is really worth getting to know, and will still expand your understanding of meter. So for those of you in the more early stages, that would be my recommendation. I'm going to also share, I did a little loop in 5/4, so I'll share that over on the Facebook page pretty much as soon as I hit the stop button on this, because then I got to hit the road. So I'm just going to glance over to the YouTube channel. It looks like I'm seeing some familiar faces as well. Faith is saying, "Oh, you're wonderful. You're so amazing at inspiring others to play. I admire you so much. Oh, you're making me blush. That's a really lovely thing to say." David is saying 7/8 is funny. Yeah, I wrote a song in 7/8 once. I don't even know if it exists on the internet. It's probably really bad because it was over a decade ago. But I think it was called, I can't remember if it was Cat Has the Key. That was one of my earlier projects, but it was called All Your Words, I think. So that was a really cool writing experiment in 7/8. Zachary is saying once is really brilliant. I love Falling Slowly. Yeah, that's a great song. Actually, I think my favorite song in that entire movie is the one in the first 2 minutes, like when he's busking on the street, and it's a really short song. What is it called? It's gonna elude me, but it's just so impassioned. I love like when he's like just wailing on the guitar strings and he's like screaming, and it's so good. It's so good. Watch the first 2 minutes of once just for that track, and it's not coming to me what it is. Tim is saying, hurry back, need to get back to our lessons. I know, that's going to be first priority tomorrow. That and the live webinar we're doing tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern. So join us for that. I think that'll be really fun. Oh yeah, so Zachary is also saying Take 5. Take 5 is a classic jazzy piece in 5/4, and it's really, really cool. I love that song. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like practice counting over the vamp. I think that's a great idea. So I think I'm going to wrap this one up, you guys, and hit the road. So Have a great weekend. And thanks again for participating in this challenge. We'll see your improvisations over on Facebook. All right. Toodle to the oo. That was the lamest thing I've ever said. Bye, guys.